a loser. All of us here at L2 who have loved making this series, as this is our series finale. We had to go out with a bang, or at least we're going to try. First, some numbers. Our first video, released October 29th, 2014, we garnered 4,200 views. Since then, Winners and Losers has registered over 50 million views. Our most popular videos, in reverse order: 3, Prof. Galloway's Career Advice, 890,000 views. Number 2, The Algebra of Happiness, my personal favorite, almost 2 million views. And off the charts for us, the next $300 billion company, and that garnered 5.3 million views. So next up, we're going to answer some questions from our dozens and dozens of fans. Jack Torrance asked, what is the one piece of advice you would give to a longtime fan? Jack, one piece of advice is to put yourself economically, spiritually, and psychologically in a position where you can completely love somebody. I like that! Danny Torrance asked, what advice would you have for a recent graduate? Danny, I did this, bitch! Private Joker asked, you're going to Comic-Con, who's your cosplay? Princess Leia Organa of Alderaan. Boom! And this is a lesson for all of you young people out there. The next time anybody says to you, why do you think you can do this? Simply look at them in the eyes and say, because I'm Leia, bitches! Hal asks, who comes up with all the great references and amazing graphics? Well, I'm glad you asked, Hal. This is Catherine, my rock and the orchestrator behind all of this. I am desperate for your affirmation. Can you say something nice about me? Yeah, thanks for that. This is Chris. I won't use his last name because I don't want him to be poached on LinkedIn. He does a lot of our animation and our really freaky stuff. You're a sexy beast, you know that. Overnight bag, what goes in it? Real quick.
Overnight bag.
Overnight bag. I'll answer for you. Leather pants and a gag ball. Thanks for all your good work. And our thank yous wouldn't be complete without recognizing Brett, who is our videographer, among other things. Brett has abandoned me and moved to Portland with the co-founder of the firm, Maureen Mullen. This is what you call when Me Too works out. By the way, you may not know this about me, but I have freakishly strong strength. Alex DeLarge asks, is there anything you want to do on the show that you haven't done? Well, thank you for asking. I want to 1, sing. I want to 2, dance. And yes, 3, I want to be naked. My son has subjected us to Shawn Mendes way too much, and I'm about to end his affinity for Shawn Mendes. It's 1992, UCLA, I'm a freshman. 1987. The greatest song comes on, I convince someone to dance with me, and then boom, here come the sexy moves. And 3. Always wanted to be naked on this program. Box checked. It's cold in here, right? Johnny Clay asks, do people recognize you on the street, and how does it feel? It used to be never, then it went to about once a month and once a week, and pretty much every day now. Somebody stops me and says, hey, I love your videos, or keep up the good work. How does it feel? How does it really feel? It feels wonderful. Thank you so much. Really, thank you. We'll speak to you next week. We'll see 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 you next week. We will not see you next week.